We're about news, commentary, conversations, truth, liberty, and God. We stand for American values and our flag. We believe that the Constitution is a document that fortifies rights already given to us by our Creator. We will not apologize for our love of God and country, ever. We are Right America Media.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Shadow Band Podcast. I'm here with Julian and Tom tonight. I hope everybody had a safe, the actual No Kings Day, had a good time with their families and enjoyed. There's a lot going on this week. A lot of very interesting things happening this week. I hope everybody is healthy and safe. But one thing I'm going to be honest that I am not too thrilled about is what we're hearing about everything with Jeffrey Epstein. So I'd like to get some feedback from Tom, from you, and from Julian about this. Yes, yeah, big fucking goose egg on that one. Pam Bondi, count your days. Very disappointed. I'm a big Dan Bongino fan. I loved him when he podcasted and what he's done. I feel let down by him. Kash Patel. Pam Bondi from the jump, haven't been happy with her. Very, very disappointing series of events here. Crazy week that Diddy and Epstein both got off. Wild. So, gentlemen, in many ways. Gentlemen, I'd like to know your feedback and your opinions on this. What do you think is really going on? Do you think there's more to this with this Epstein situation? How do you feel?
I got to tell you, I watched the clip from Candace Owens just before I came in here, and it was funny. The ragging on Bondi because aged well. Yeah. And here's Candace saying, well, I don't, Jewish, Israel, yeah, you're not going to get those documents. And, aged well. Comparatively to, yes, they're on my desk, we're going through them, we're filtering things out, and you're going to see them. And, as the sound effect alluded.
That's the biggest thing. I think I would have been a little more satisfied if we were told things got destroyed, right? Because, the New York FBI or whomever happened to have these documents. So they said Pam Bondi came out, I believe, in February. We got redacted documentation in February, too. What happened with all this from then to now? I would have been happier knowing that, oh, shit, sorry, guys, everything got destroyed. We tried to do what we can with it. Be honest with us.
Come on. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients.
Here we go.
Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
but
here's the catch. Here's that catch, right? Because but here's that catch, right? So she gets asked the question. She goes, yes. She gets asked the question about the list. She says, yes, it's on my desk, along with the JFK files, with the MLK files, so on and so forth. And it's like, have you seen anything that makes you say, oh my gosh? No, not yet. That dismissive tone right there, that's the shit that makes me sit there and go, were you gaslighting us then, or are you gaslighting us now? I'm not a fan of Candace Owens at all, but for this shit, I never expected to see the Epstein files, because if it really does have heads of state on it, and if it really does have people who top echelon FBI, CIA, other friggin' three-letter agencies, and it has the royal family on it, and a head of the biggest organizations worldwide, industry leaders, the richest men on the planet, most influential people in media, in movies, in TV, in friggin'
but
music.
But don't gaslight us, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't fucking gaslight us.
So, why even promise that we're going to get this list? Why continue to do the pomp and circumstance of giving the people the binders and all that shit, and then try and tell me that There is no list. There never was a list. It was just child pornography. I'm serious. Seriously. It was just child pornography. Why are you guys making a big deal out of this? We still talking about bullshit.
That pissed me off, actually, today when he said that, in the tone that he said that when he was with Bondi, kind of dismissed, oh, you guys are still talking about Epstein? Yeah, we're still fucking talking about Epstein. You had a photo op stunt with 4 social media influencers. I actually got blocked by DC Drano yesterday for calling him out. I'm very proud of that. One of the 4 people, if you all recall, that had the binders that were used for a photo op. Oh, we're waving the binders with the Epstein information. Nothing came of that.
No.
Now these social media influencers that had these binders are coming out saying, oh my God, what's going on? Didn't you motherfuckers know? You guys knew.
You know what drives me crazy is it's like that's
and released yesterday in Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, this is the binder.
Some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Yeah, sure. If I
Hey,
could...
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
That
This
pissed
guy's
me
been
off so
talked
bad,
about
man.
for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question.
For real.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? I can't believe there was still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. No, it's bullshit.
Well, what I was going to say is the outrage should be read some of these documents in the court cases. Mm-hmm. And is there anything that comes out that makes you go, ooh, well, that reporter should have done that before he asked that question.
Right.
Because if you're a parent and you read some of that stuff, you are irate.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to remember, Jeffrey Epstein was these guys' buddies anyways. Like the reporters and the media and all these people. He was their buddy anyways. They don't want to see this shit because they know their names are on it. Like, I don't even like to go into the conspiracy theory land, right? And I don't like to get into the Jew-spiracies because I find them to be counterproductive and overly reductive of reality. But I'm looking at this and I'm going, you guys all took flight trips on his plane. You all went to his island. You partied with this dude. And I don't mean like Trump knew the guy back in the 90s, like that type of partying. Like we saw him at the same parties and he came to Mar-a-Lago and then I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because he tried to do sexually explicit shit with a minor. I mean like these assholes in the media actually hung out with him, defended him, pretended like he was a good guy, like it was no big deal, continued to hang out with him, continued to... No, fuck all of you.
Look at what he was convicted of. Mm-hmm. What he was tried and convicted of.
And Ghislaine
that
Maxwell.
alone should be enough to say questions.
Yeah.
Why is Ghislaine, whatever her name is, Julian Maxwell, why is she in prison if there was no list?
Yeah.
Why is she locked up if there was no
You're
list?
telling me this is the first mastermind or criminal enterprise in history where the guy doesn't have a list of his clients?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every drug dealer on the block has a list of their damn clients. Like, this is bullshit. You're telling
February.
me, who did they sex traffic these girls to? Nobody?
And then Virginia Guffrey ironically dies, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, she gets killed. She had put out on X, like, I'm not suicidal. I would never kill myself. They've tormented that girl. She knew so much. And she ends up dead, shortly before this comes out. And we had redacted documentation in February that came out. So whose names, what's under the redacted parts of this? Release that. And I'm also not satisfied with the... jail surveillance, if you will, or security cameras. Where we're missing a minute out of that. What happened in that minute?
That was when Hillary Clinton walked in the cell and silenced that
She had her
dude for
knife.
forever. That, she's got 100% success rate at making sure people don't talk.
Yeah. The only person I know that's had 60 friends kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like, the CIA takes lessons from Hillary Clinton. She teaches classes at the farm. I'm absolutely sure of it.
So I had somebody say in my comments on TikTok, so why is this administration covering up the whole Epstein thing? This must be hideous. So, yes, we're not happy that this administration is not releasing this. But I also want to mention, too, we see a lot of the, Trump's on the list. And I'll be the first to say, if Trump has really been on that island and done whatever, I would denounce the fuck out of him. Anybody would do that.
Yep.
I think we need to look at this as this is not a party situation. This is not a left thing. This is not a right thing. We need to look at it as an us versus them and a humanity thing. These are kids being affected. These are kids being groomed, and this should be something that both sides can get behind on this together. We should all be able to
Exactly.
come together on this. It's not a liberal Republican situation.
It's not a political
all of us.
issue.
No, it's not. But it gets politicized. It always will.
Yeah, because the unpopular reality is both sides of the aisle are perfectly willing to bend over backwards to defend the people who happen to wear the same jersey as them, even when they're wrong. I don't care whether you're wearing the same jersey as me. If you're wrong, you're wrong, which is why I spend so much more time calling out the right than I do the left, because if you're wearing the same jersey as me, then I expect you to compose yourself in a certain manner becoming of somebody who wears the same jersey as me, because I'm not going to be made to look like an ass bag because you're out here doing stupid shit. So if you're involved, if anybody on the right is involved in this Jeffrey Epstein shit, your ass needs to be under the prison too.
Absolutely.
Like I have zero sympathy for anybody involved with this shit. And if it is out there, I'm willing to give the pragmatic the pragmatic position of, if you're telling me you can't release the list, don't just say you can't release it.
Right.
Don't lie to me and tell me that it doesn't exist. And sure as hell, if you're saying you can't release it for national security reasons, diplomatic reasons, stuff like that, then okay, or that you can't release it publicly because the vast majority of people in the country can't have this information for obvious reasons of, I don't know, lynch mobs running down the street trying
Here's
to
the
pull a
thing, though.
Punisher.
Did you hear what Patrick Bet David released on X?
No.
He made a comment about, is this list now in President Trump's hand, and is he utilizing this to
blackmail
everybody on the list?
Hey, you never know. I would take that. Like, if there's some like secret motive to that, I will be thrilled. If we find out down the road there was some fucking motive, and we had to get pissed off about this for a little while.
A book at the end of the term.
By
By the way, I have the list.
Pedophile.
And you will pass this bill. You will pass the term limits
Well,
bill.
he did get his big, beautiful bill passed.
He did.
You will pass the term limits bill. You will pass the big, beautiful, second beautiful, greatest ever bill in the next term.
Greatest.
And you will pass the Balanced Budget Act for Thomas Massey. He's the dude. That guy right there. Like, I'd be like, all right, well, I'd still like to see these guys in front of a firing squad, but hey, you know what? At least, I guess, fix America before you do it.
Did you know Thomas Massey used to live right down the street from us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Wyndham resident. Yeah,
Dude, I'm not
Fun
going to lie.
fact.
A lot of people like Don Jr. follows me, and like decent amount of people with a lot of influence follow me. I'm like, oh wow, that's okay. But Thomas Massey followed me. I was like, oh yes. I was like, I like that guy. He's got to be my favorite person.
he was
in
a granite
DC.
stater.
Yeah, got to be my favorite person in DC. Not like, I like him. I like Byron Donalds. I like certain people in DC, not because I like them. Like, I like Byron Donalds personally. He's a cool dude. But like, I just like how they go about their legislation and they go about their business and the arguments that they make and stuff. And I like Trump and I like Thomas Massey, and I refuse to choose.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But if you have $2.5 million, you can be part of history and own.
I would be scared of
This
what
is up
I
for
would
sale.
find in
Oh,
this
fuck
chick's
no.
house.
The demons that are in. So there's a picture up if you're watching online of Ghislaine Maxwell's New Hampshire house. I'm so proud that she had a home in New Hampshire for $2.5 million. The demons and the bad juju that is in that house, as pretty as it is from the outside, I couldn't do it.
I'd buy the house. If I had money
Bulldoze
to burn,
it.
I would buy the house and I'd be like, listen, we're going to do a controlled burn of this house. This shit's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to take the chance of walking in there with a black light.
Oh, yeah, no.
Isn't it interesting though that she hides out here in New Hampshire?
I know, of all the places. Like, why here?
I have a theory on that. I think it's because we are the number one state that have trusts. We do more trusts, living trusts, than any other state in the country.
Interesting.
Living
Interesting. So in other
trust.
words, that's where they're hiding their money.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? That's a reason. Because of all the places, New Hampshire. Unless she thought it was remote enough to hide away, but I feel like, I don't know. Could do like deep in Maine or something like that. But yeah, I would never, ever, ever ever. I'm curious what it looks like on the
I'm
inside.
wondering if it sells.
2.5. What town is it in? Does anybody know?
Oh,
Juan,
it's
do you know?
it's up north, and the taxes were like, I read that article. They were ridiculous. I think it was
yeah.
like $30,000 a year or something.
Speaking
Damn.
of blacklight, I just sent something to Juan. Juan, you're going to die laughing at this one. We're going to have to put that up on the screen. This is going to be fantastic.
Blacklight. I'm scared to know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Speaking of
it's
blacklight,
so
is
good.
Epstein Island still? What have they done with that? Does anybody know that?
I don't know.
Speaking of Epstein?
It'd be interesting to see if some of this money, though, that for the assets that are being sold,
Where does it
are
go?
they going to the victims? Well, they're
Right.
supposed to be, right? I mean, but are they? You know,
I highly doubt it.
I doubt it.
And
you know,
the
40,
question
was it 40% of that is going to go to the lawyer?
Well,
Yeah.
why isn't anyone question? You know, was it Wex Lesnar, like in his involvement? Why did Jeffrey Epstein have so much control over those millions and hundreds of millions of dollars?
See, Jeffrey Epstein had like so much, I think, blackmail on a lot of people because of what was going on. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen the blue dress picture with Bill Clinton hanging up in his household, and Bill Clinton's been on the island like 27 times. I think he,
Flying the Lolita Express.
This is why I could give a flying fuck if any of these people's names came out. Their biggest thing was, we need to protect the girls that were involved in the young girls. And I don't think it's doing that. You know, I don't give a flying fuck. Let us know what their names are. These people have so much money. They're protected. They're elitist. Why are we so worried about that? Now that he's gone.
Because maybe they don't want the young girls to get Hillary Clinton. Maybe they don't want them to get Hillaried.
Yeah, but if they're in hiding, so me personally, Virginia Giuffre was the only one that I had ever known to come out from all of that. Yeah. And I think she was involved with Prince Andrew, I mean, I'm sure it was more than that, but she was the only one. And yeah, she definitely got Clinton's big time. But I don't know. I haven't heard one other person come out about that. Have you guys? Any of the other victims?
No, I don't know. But
not any high-profile names that I remember.
Out of the people who visited that island, I think the people with the most clout that posed the most danger, I mean, diplomatically, national security wise, would be Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton.
Yeah, you're talking about the crown. You know how much money that is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the root of all evil, right? The money.
Yeah.
Not even just the money, but the influence.
That's what I'm talking.
Worldwide, like that's
what the money buys. It buys the influence.
But I feel like Prince Andrew is one that I've heard the most about, ironically, and it's kind of crazy with the crown having so much power and
Bill
money.
Gates. I mean, there's another one.
That's because the guy has had scandals throughout his
Right,
life. He's
right.
he's like our Bill Clinton.
Yeah, UK Bill Clinton.
Yeah, redheaded stepchild.
Oh, I just saw that picture that you had sent pop up for 2 seconds.
Go on, go ahead, throw that up. That's going to be gold.
Girls trip to Miami. Oh boy.
Oh man,
Brutal.
when I saw that, I was like, "This is freaking gold."
Oh my god! All right, gentlemen, I think it's time. I think it's time for the doom scroll.
Let's do it.
No, turn this. So if anybody's watching on TikTok, you can actually see what's happening.
You don't want them to have access to food? Do you not want them to have? You know what?
You have access to food.
Clearly.
There's gonna be more prisoners. Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart. Yeah, you're stunting American growth. You're stunting American growth, and my generation's getting fucked because of you.
She hasn't.
And I'm sick and tired of it.
No.
People have like
Her
this.
mic does not
Oh,
look like that
but
black
you know,
light
there's so many
at all.
people who, for their SNAP benefits, they use it, but they don't actually need it. And this, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Get a
I don't
job.
care if
Seriously.
a few of them use the system. Everyone's going to use the system. Guess what? Trump is using the system so that
he's on
his
EBC?
fellow rich people can have tax cuts. So why can't people have food? Why is it, please, someone explain to me, that why is it us and Israel out of the UN are the only two countries that believe that food is not a given right? Why?
Girl, go to Africa for a few days.
Tell me.
Come back and talk to me.
I don't understand. I don't understand you
Senators in the
Trumpies.
Middle
I don't
East.
understand
Never
you
went on a
people.
trip to Iran.
Okay?
Oh my God, please, I wish.
How can you not care about other people? Do something about it. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready. Like, if I need to, I will
I'll square up
defend.
with her.
I'll defend what I believe is morally right.
My kids haven't eaten in 3 weeks.
Ew, ew is right.
My kids haven't eaten in 3 weeks. It has nothing to do with the fact that I ate all the snacks.
I'm so sick of the Medicaid, EBT, SNAP benefit argument. Like, the people think that everybody's losing everything.
It's the worst.
That's all I've seen on social media for the past couple days.
It's just, it's bullshit.
Stop frauding the system.
But someone should do like.
You notice it's always the fattest people that are doing it too.
It is.
It's like, bitch, your blood type is Rocky Road, and you're out here.
You know what they should do though? Someone should do like a documentary on how the abuse works.
Yeah,
and just show
it's generational.
It's generational. Yeah. And then look, this is day to day. This is what I do. This is how I do it. This is the money we make. This is what I sell. And then look at the kid.
Yeah,
that's not getting any benefit
There's
from it.
There's a video of a woman chewing out her son for wanting to get a job because while he lives in the house, it's going to contribute towards the household income, and they're going to take away her
Their
Section
housing.
8.
Yep.
And she's like,
True
no,
story, true
if
stuff.
you really want to get, what you should do is you should get your own Section 8 and get your own stuff and get your own place,
It is.
and you can live on your own, and you don't need to get a job. Getting a job is so old school, blah, 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 blah. I'm like...
Yeah, they game the system.
It's
like
so bad.
You read about.
I'm from Boston originally, or the Boston area, and I can't even tell you.
Massachusetts is the
Oh
worst.
my god, the system is so fucking flawed. Like people should be so grateful we live in a country that this exists in the first place.
Go
right?
to Haverhill. Go to Haverhill. Go to Haverhill. Go to any town in Manchester. I mean, in Massachusetts.
It's crazy.
Yep.
The other thing too is I've seen, speaking of the EBT thing, and I think another video is coming up about it in a second. But there have been so many videos on social media, TikTok and Instagram. Come with me while I spend my $1,000 EBT. Come with me while I spend my $600 in EBT. What are they buying? Fucking boxes of Doritos. They're buying soda. They're buying this. They're buying that. If we're gonna have that, maybe we also find a way to put limitations on it, which I know has been discussed. But there's no reason why these people need to be buying. First of all, that shit's expensive too. A bag of Doritos is like $6.
When we were broke, my mom managed to feed me just fine by actually making real food.
Yeah.
Like buy
meals
frozen
can be cheap.
vegetables,
Yep.
buy friggin' flash frozen chicken or something.
Pork is cheap.
You could buy massive bags of beans, rice, pasta, all sorts of stuff, and potatoes, and manage to make good meals. You could buy ground beef in bulk. You can buy, and it actually gets cheaper the more you buy.
Right.
So it's like there's no reason why you can't eat healthy. You know damn well that, and that's like Jamal Bowman said, friggin', the reason why black people have so much diabetes is because we have to deal with the stress of getting called the N-word on a regular basis.
That's so
and
stupid.
You guys don't understand because you're white. And I'm sitting there going, or it could be that you wash down your flaming hot Cheetos
with Coca-Cola,
with Mountain Dew,
seriously.
and a side of fried pizza. Like, come on, man! Like you know you're an unhealthy piece of shit.
Gosh.
You know you're not supposed to fry fucking Oreos.
It's common sense. We know what we're supposed to do and choose not to. Now, gentlemen, I want you to brace yourself for this next video with another little type 1 diabetes girly here. There's a good outcome to what happens to her at the end too. So we'll watch this.
Right here, they're holding a ceremony so that he can sign this big, beautiful bill into law. Do you think it's going to be outside? No, they wouldn't. But like on the 4th of July, be a cool time to do it. If anyone's like on the fence, we would support you. 100%. That'd be real nice.
So her name is Jessie. She lives in, I want to say it was Washington State. I forget the town that she's in. She's a preschool teacher. And she had made a TikTok video. Her account has since been banned, talking about, I'm saying unaliving because I'm streaming on TikTok right now, but unaliving President Trump. Talking about how on the 4th of July he was going to be outdoors. It would be a perfect time to do it. So she's since lost her job. Her account's gotten banned. She had come back to social media and she's trying to backtrack a little bit. This is something that is all over social media that the left and the progressive and the woke are doing. They're calling for this and they're getting away with it.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I didn't wish harm on Biden. I don't wish harm on Hillary. I didn't wish harm on Obama or anybody else. I don't think political violence is good. I think it leads you down a path of more political violence. And I constantly trash people who take the whole, we need to have a 1776 revolutionary moment, because I'm like, first of all, fat ass, you're nowhere in shape to be having a 1776 moment either. Like, the vast majority of people who call for violence, like this chick, will get winded getting up to go use the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Yes. The problem I have is it's her mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you formulate a mindset like that? I mean, clearly her
Desensitized from
parents didn't do a
reality.
good job.
No.
And I'm going to hang it all on the parents. I mean, there's got to be some responsibility
It's the
with
media,
the kid.
man.
It is.
It's the media.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's in the
It's
media. It's in
social
our
media.
education system.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's
And
social
people-
media too.
It is. But
Yeah.
people they lack the skill to debate, share ideas, and let the cream rise to the top.
Right.
And this individual is asking for our president to be unalive.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And it's absolutely, the media has conditioned people to have this mindset, and it's a herd mentality. I think we're seeing spiritual warfare right now. I think we're seeing who's truly mentally weak and mentally strong. And I'm not saying being mentally weak or strong means you're a Trump supporter, you're a Republican. It's just to have that mindset that you want to have somebody die is insane. It's crazy. You didn't see all of us, when Joey Corn Pop was in office saying, "Oh my God, off the guy." Nobody said that.
I made
we
a
weren't
Corn
happy.
Pop song.
Did you? We'll have to hear that at some time.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. we'll have
Speaking
to
of
hear
corn
that
pops,
sometime.
before we leave, I got a big giant box, life-size box of corn pops.
No shit.
Outside. I gotta
So
show
good.
it to you. It's got
That's
so many jokes on
incredible.
it.
That is incredible.
Yeah, the Smithsonian actually wanted it. It's funny.
Nice.
It's funny.
All right, Juan, what do you got next for us? What is this?
To do exactly what the hell was right, but instead y'all sat your goofy ass up in the White House worried about small issues like abortions and gay rights, something that the states can handle, and then when a real president get in there and show y'all what a real president do, y'all still big ass mad. Woo, I can't stand these damn people. Woo, they get on my nerves. I wish Hakeem Jeffries would shut up. Sit down and then shut that. See, I'm trying my hardest to watch my mouth, but they be pissing me off.
Well, shit. I don't know if I would film myself going off like that.
Hey,
Her weave almost fell out. Like, damn. Hakeem Jeffries, mark my words, that dude is going to be a presidential candidate pretty soon. He's got that whole Obama vibe going on. Although I think the one that Republicans should be more wary about is Ro Khanna.
Really?
that
Khanna?
guy's a snake. He
Yeah,
tried
but-
so hard to hop on with Gen Z to try to save TikTok and everything. I don't trust that man.
Yeah, but he's a populist.
Yeah.
And you can never underestimate populism. He is a populist progressive, and he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. He lands on those issues where he can pick up those younger voters and get them to the polls, and he can get those, like, the pendulum always swings in each direction, right? So you got a populist right president. It's easy to get a populist left president swinging in the opposite direction, and he's not Nancy Pelosi or any of those people. That is a very easy. Republicans need to watch that shit, because it's either going to be him or it's going to be a socialist, like a radical
My God.
socialist.
Speaking of that, New York, we'll have to talk about that at some point. But Juan, what do you have for us next for a video? My God. Oh, I would be blasting them off just to make her upset.
Yep.
Just to
This
make her
is
upset.
one of those America, fuck yeah.
The Mickey meltdown is just
It's so good.
entertainment.
I love it.
I do too.
I love it so much.
It reminds me of my kids when they have like a little Mickey meltdown, and dad's just looking at me like, "Yeah, you done?"
And you can't help not to laugh sometimes, and you try to at it. She's creating more noise than the fucking fireworks were by standing there screaming. So if there was a noise thing she's mad about, this year especially, people made the 4th of July so left and right. I don't know if you guys saw that on social
Yeah.
media. There was an issue with girls painting their nails red and blue because it represented a side, and I'm not dressing in patriotic gear for the 4th of July. Does everybody forget what the fucking 4th of July was all about?
Clearly they do.
Yeah,
there were people.
It's not a liberal fucking Republican thing.
It was actually a trend for people to be online playing that song, I'm ashamed to be an American.
My God, I know.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
crazy.
like, then get the fuck out.
Yeah, you can move.
You can leave.
Like,
can leave.
I'll help you
I
pack.
may have my issues with where this country lands at any given point in time or some of the shit that we do, but I love being a fucking American. And I love my fellow Americans, and I will take any American over anybody else in any country any fucking day.
Best place in the world.
It is. It's the greatest country in the world. Everything aside. Nope.
Ooh.
Yeah. That shit gets me so fired up. I want to go clothesline a fucking British person right now. Like, that was so good. America.
That shit.
Have you guys ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Yes.
That
No.
must have
So
sounded
beautiful.
awesome live. I would have loved to have been there.
The Grand Canyon is so freaking beautiful. Honestly, I wish I could wake up like that every morning. Just first thing, and like the whole neighborhood, like speakers on the outside of my house, whole neighborhood lit up. First thing in the morning, like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., boom.
Yeah.
National anthem, Jimi Hendrix
Yes.
shredding it out.
Yes.
Just playing.
So good.
You have America hard on. Freaking just wake up in the morning ready to go.
Start the day with an America boner.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys wondering what Greta Thunberg does nowadays?
Scares people with her fucking face. I don't know. What is she? She's a little evil little twerp. What is she doing? Why? Is she get married or something?
Are we gonna find out?
She has a man
You're about
now.
to find. You're about to find out.
Wasn't she just in the Middle East getting arrested? For
Oh my
some-
God!
Oh, Jesus.
I saw this yesterday. It looks just like her.
Oh my God, life has not been good.
Russians
To
be like, yeah, sis. Hell yeah. Spanish level.
Goddamn, that was like the most 850 credit score shit I have ever seen. Not a single person was on beat. That was like all mayo, no seasoning right there. Holy shit.
That's brutal. That does look exactly like Greta Thunberg. Didn't she get locked up in, who held her captive? Israel? Somebody locked her up. She was in international law. Did you hear about this?
Israel.
No?
Was she?
It was Israel,
Yes.
yeah. She got held for a few days.
They
and
could
it was
keep
very
her.
dramatic.
She
I know.
was, she was heading to Gaza.
Oh, yeah.
It was called the Freedom Flotilla.
They could keep her. I
She
don't
sucks.
wish for harm on people, but she could sit in jail for a while. I don't have
yeah,
a
that's
problem with
fine.
that.
Smug little face.
Put
she
all
has.
the commies in prison. And no, I'm not talking about re-education camp. I don't believe in re-education camps. You can't re-educate a commie. Just stick them there.
Speaking of camps, what do we think about Alligator Alcatraz? Everybody's very sad about that, and they forget that Biden
not
and
sad about
Obama
that.
had worse conditions.
Oh
for
my
that.
God, yeah. Look at their numbers and compare.
Well,
You know,
Yeah, and the conditions they had them in. At least they got like
hypocrisy.
covering over their head.
Hypocrisy.
Everybody likes to forget what Obama did with deportation, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is next for us? What do you got?
Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah,
What's this lovely lady?
Obama deports 4 million people over the course of his entire two cycles, and they lose their shit over a couple 100,000.
Yeah. Right.
It's like,
because the news, back to the media, and the media telling them so and conditioning them what to think, and like
programming.
This paid shill on social media told them to think this way. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Everybody wants to forget about that. Allah loves equality. The fuck he does.
As the stone hits you in the forehead.
No shit.
Yeah, I've seen how that, personally has seen how that works out. That's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. That is a bad idea. Go ahead and visit Afghanistan with that shit. Visit Gaza.
I would pay for a couple of their plane tickets to go the fuck over there, honestly. Like, see how you're trans fucking shit. See how you're... I'm going to get fucking kicked off of TikTok right now. LGBT shit. See how that works out. They're going to love you over there.
Speak English, and they're currently in the hospital right now in LA. The doctor didn't speak Spanish, so they needed someone to translate, and that the hospital didn't have any translators, so my parents decided to just call me so I can talk to the doctor for them. Once the doctor was done explaining to me what they were going to do to my mom, she decided to give me a comment and say, "You should really teach your parents some English so they can learn how to talk in the hospital and communicate and stuff." I don't know, but considering that everything's going on with the political climate, maybe I'm just reaching. But, Spanish is the secondly most common language spoken in LA. And I just thought that for hospitals to not have translators and then to blame the patient for not knowing the language, I think it's just, I don't know, I didn't really like it. I don't mind translating, but I think that hospitals and other places should just do better, especially in LA, because it's so diverse. But let me know what you guys think. Am I reaching?
Right. Oh, we're gonna let her know, aren't we?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I take both sides of this. You're in an area where half the population speaks Spanish or some other language, because the vast majority of California are transplants. What? Not even just from all over the U.S., but from all over the world. Probably a good idea to have some translators on staff. I know you at least got one Mexican working in that damn hospital. However, at the same time, you're in America. Learn to speak fucking English. You know what? This is where I get to those moments where I'm like, I wish that Trump catapult was real. That little video was real, and we could just stick people in a catapult and catapult them back over the wall and leave them there. Because when you're in somebody else's country, when you're in my house, you should be grateful that you're in my house. Don't complain about what I got on the fucking menu. You want vegan shit? Go to a vegan's house. You're in my house. You accept what I have on the menu, and we're eating bacon wrapped everything. Like, this is America. We speak English here. Yes, should we speak other languages too? Yeah, we're one of the few countries in the world where nobody speaks, like very few people know multiple languages. However, at the same time, this is America. We speak English here. Get the fuck out.
I'll tell you what comes through my mind. My daughter's over in Korea right now, and end of the week she's going over to Japan. You know what Dad made her do before she went over there?
Learn the language.
Learn the language.
Yeah.
So she goes to the hospital, and something happens, and it's her fault that she doesn't know the language in a foreign country. I think about this. This person actually lives in the country, and it's like, last I knew, English was the language.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You go down to Mexico, you don't know the language. Guess what? You're getting ripped off.
Yeah.
You go to any country in the world, you don't know the language, they're going to rip you off because they think you're an arrogant American and you expect the other countries to learn English. No, you come to America. Guess what? You don't speak English. I'm going to rip you off because you need to learn English.
So that's what we think.
Speaking of, that's a good segue, Julian.
Mexico City.
Wait, are those like skinhead punk rock people, or like what group
Dude,
of
you
folk
find
is
some
this?
weird shit down there. They're basically Mexican Antifa.
Get out of here.
They're pissed. So we went over this on my podcast. They are on Grand State Live. They're pissed, but because tourists coming into Mexico are increasing the cost of living because they're jacking up prices.
Isn't that too bad?
Because every time you build up a tourist area, it gentrifies the area and the cost of everything increases.
How the turntables have turned.
But at the same time, if you were to get rid of those very same tourists, the economy in those areas would crash overnight.
Right. So it's like you need it. So, damned if you do.
So what Mexico's president should do is pick up the phone and call Ecuador's president and say, hey, what did you guys do? How'd you build that prison?
Well, they brought them all to the U.S.
Yeah.
So don't call Ecuador because
Yeah.
we're going to send them right back.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
they're
so crazy.
pissed about tourists jacking up the prices in their area. And while I understand the concept of gentrification and everything, I'm also sitting here going, don't live in a tourist area.
Right.
Like, I don't want to live in Orlando because I know Orlando is a tourist trap. I don't like living in California because the whole state of California is a damn tourist trap.
Right.
And the cost of living is astronomical. It's just insane. It is what it is. I don't feel sorry for you.
No. And what the fuck is that going to do? Like, you're destroying businesses and you're destroying everything else. So, yeah, maybe tourists are utilizing it, but what are you doing to your community, rather? How does
It's
that
your
help?
community.
Yeah, you're
They're
destroying
gonna
your own
destroy
community.
the-
I've never understood that.
They're going to destroy the business space in their community, and then they're not going to have the businesses, and they're not going to have the tourist investment, and then the economy in the area is going to collapse. And half of them are going to lose their fucking jobs anyways.
Right.
So congratulations, you just
Did
increased
nothing.
poverty.
You want to know where Jesus would be today? He'd be with the gay kids that are being demonized.
No, the fuck he
would.
wouldn't.
Be
Yeah,
with
no.
the trans kid who is being vilified. Look around who society condemns. He'd
Cory
be in
Booker, you
prisons
fucking piece of shit.
with the condemned. That's where I think Jesus would stand and would be calling on all of us. Cast the first stone. We're calling all of us. Show me your mercy and your love.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't this guy sleeping with Rosario Dawson?
Correct.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Like,
Yeah.
how did she sleep with that guy? That guy is a walking penis.
Cory Booker comes out of the woodworks like every 2 years. Like, I feel like you don't see him for a little while and then he comes out and does something fucking nonsensical. He's the one that he filibustered, right? Not that long ago.
He's got to come up with his next, Spartacus moment.
Yeah, that nobody gave a shit about.
Needs money.
There's a
tries.
difference between Christ believing and leading with
The
grace.
pack is running a little low, so.
Yeah, there's a difference between Christ believing and leading with grace and approaching people from where they are and bringing them closer to the faith. But the idea is that you still stop living the sinful lifestyle.
Oh, well, that's it, the
that
sin.
you live.
Yeah.
And the issue was Christ flipped over the tables on the Pharisees, the people who are abusing the faith for their own gain. Not flipping the table over on the ignorant. You would approach the ignorant with grace. You flip the tables over on those who weaponize the faith for their own gain. However, it still comes with the caveat, you have to change your life. Otherwise, it doesn't mean shit. So if you go to church on Sunday and you're sinning on Monday, you're just a sinner
Right.
who cosplays as a Christian.
I mean, we're all sinners, at the end of the day, but you're living for worldly things, and this is not how Christ wants you to live. When you're living for these things, like you're living in sin with the trans stuff, and believe it or not, no offense to anybody, but a lot of the gay stuff too. Like
Yeah.
you're living in sin. It's just
The goal is
Bible.
the goal is to get better.
Yes. Did you know that Democrat spelled backwards is asshole? Hey, if they can make this shit up, so can we. Yeah, absolutely.
This brother isn't even American, so I don't know what the hell he's chanting USA for. I'll chant USA, not you, okay?
You asked me why I am in US now. Because I was invited and I came here with my passport. Patrick invited me as a politician to come to US because as a European, I do recognize US as a leader of the free world and I pay my respect to this country. And I came here because I used to live under communism and Reagan with John Paul II freed our country and I will be always grateful to the Republicans of the United States for the freedom of Poland and Europe.
Woohoo! Amen.
Yeah.
That's the Prime Minister of Poland.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like about legal immigrants who come to the country the right way end up being some of the most patriotic
Yes.
bastards
Yes.
100%.
on the planet. especially
100%.
they have to take a civics test. They actually have to learn about the country.
They probably know more about the Constitution than the kids graduating high school.
Which is sad. Like it should be a national requirement that every single child who graduates from high school is required to pass a civics test in order to graduate. I also believe that every young man in the United States, in order to graduate, should have to undergo a crucible for 24 hours. A rite of passage ceremony. Something that is, because we don't do manhood ceremonies anymore.
But that would hurt their feelings, and we can't do that now.
Oh, fuck that.
They need a safe space after 2 hours. Every 2 hours, safe space.
Also think
free
we should bring back
antidepressants.
the presidential fitness test.
Oh my God, I remember that in school.
I do remember. I can never do the rope.
Me neither.
I get three-quarters of the way. I'm like, I gotta come down.
Just miserable. Your hands are burning. Oh my God,
man.
I forgot about the rope.
I used to love those days. It's like, all right, let's see who's the best. Let's see who's the best. Who can climb the rope the fastest? Who can run the mile the fastest? It was just, I just love competition.
Yeah, I get very competitive.
To the little Social Security office. Sign up for me a little check because I must be crazy if I think I ain't got to work. I just don't think I was put on this earth to work like that. I know I wasn't.
I'm a mess right now. I can't eat, can't sleep.
Thank God, hallelujah, amen. I don't take bitches seriously with a bonnet on your head. I don't take bitches seriously who go out in public in pajamas.
Oh my God, that triggers me so
Dude,
bad. Cookie Monster pajamas.
Oh my God, I was just having this conversation with Sonny Johnson on host of Sirius XM Patriot on Saturdays, and we were talking about this. All the kids in my son's school will wear pajamas, slippers, and dirty, ratty, nasty sweatshirts.
Pisses me off.
My son tried to walk out the door one day like that. I snatched him up by the back of his neck like he owed me child support. I was like, I work hard. I buy you clothes. I buy you shoes. Get in the house. Wear something that looks halfway decent, like you were my goddamn son. You are not going to school to sleep. You are not lounging in your fucking pajamas. Your pajamas were made to be worn in the house. Period. End of story. If you ever walk out in public like that, I'm going to whoop your ass to the point where they need a Geneva Convention to take my foot out of your asshole. It bugs the shit out of me. But
Same.
I'm glad she lost her fucking food stamps. One, I don't know, if you're doing something illegal like gaming the system, don't brag about it online.
No shit.
When did we start bragging about
Because everybody
doing
wants
illegal
views.
shit?
Everybody wants clicks. Everybody wants views. Everybody will do the most for TikTok and Instagram and everything else and not think of the repercussions of it. Like, shocker, they came after you for it.
Yeah.
And why is it so hard for the people that are on the fucking benefits? You have to work, 20 hours a week? That's all they're asking?
I don't even know what it is. Is that
I
what it
believe
is?
it's 20 hours a week if you're on Medicaid or SSI or anything like that. Legitimately, it's 20 hours a week. That's all you have to work. That's nothing. That's like a fraction of my week.
And
I do
literally
that in
none of these
2
people,
days.
2 days, exactly.
Yeah. And none of these people are incapable of standing at a freaking drive-through window and being like, "Can I help you with your fucking order, please?"
Oh, it's beneath them, though. They won't do that because
you
it's
could be
not good
a
enough for
greeter
them.
at Walmart. They got Riri's who are greeters at Walmart. They got
Anybody can do it.
special education people who are greeters at Walmart
Yeah.
and elderly people that can't walk who are greeters at Walmart. You can take your fat ass to Walmart with your bonnet and be a greeter.
20 hours a week of work
Yes.
or
Yeah.
study or volunteering.
Right, there you go. How fucking easy is that?
Volunteer,
It's
clean
so
up.
easy.
If you're in San Francisco, it'd be a full-time job cleaning up shit,
Shit
and
everywhere.
needles.
Just cleaning up people all day.
No, he's an idiot. He's a total idiot. He's not my president. I will never call him the president of the United States. I will never say that.
Well, whether you feel like it or not, whether you enjoy it or
Who
not,
is that?
whether you like
I
him.
forget. He's an actor, right? I
His
can't
Yes,
figure
most-
out.
Who is it?
He's an actor.
He's an
His
actor.
most famous role was playing.
He's not that
Zod.
important. I don't know. Who
No,
he
I
is.
know. I don't know.
His most famous role
You're not
was
that important, pal.
playing Zod in the Henry Cavill Superman movie. He played the villain, and his second most famous role was playing Eminem's stepdad in 8 Mile.
All right.
Oh,
Still don't know who he is.
Okay. Yeah. The not my president shit. Did you wake up? Are you a United States citizen? He's your fucking president.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if
I
your
didn't
feelings
like
are a
change
certain
your
way.
naturalization.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I didn't
Canadian now.
like Joe
Get over
Biden,
it.
but he was my
Still the
president.
president,
I didn't like Obama, but he was my president. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's you don't get to pick and choose who's your president or not. They
Such a
they
lame
kind of
thing.
are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so fucking lame. Honestly.
Just so we're clear, we didn't make loving this country racist. You did that. We didn't make being proud of our country controversial. You attached guilt to patriotism. When we stood for the flag, you called it hate. When we celebrated freedom, you called it privilege. When we honored the sacrifice, you called it blind loyalty. We're teaching our children how to be grateful for what they have and the opportunities that they can pursue. You're teaching them to be ashamed by that. We celebrate unity, you push division. From what I can tell, it looks like a lot of you are suffering from what I like to call American guilt. And unfortunately for you, you didn't kill patriotism like you wanted to. You just made it unfashionable for a little while. But I want to let you know right now that it's back and it's better than ever.
Hell yeah. Sure is, sis.
Oh, so this brings me to something that pissed me off over the weekend, right? So you have in this trend of people who want to post shit about hating America, you had a comedian who had a skit talking about, you notice that there are no top 10 patriotic songs from black people. And I was like, bullshit, there isn't. I was like, last thing I remember before Apollo Creed died was James Brown singing "Living in America," which is on the top 10 list, and I have the top 10 list right here.
I'm going to be honest, nothing came to my mind at first. So I would like to know.
So the list is right here. At number 1, Born in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Living in America. America the Beautiful. This Land is Your Land. God Bless America, The Star Spangled Banner by Whitney Houston, which she released in a single after killing it Super Bowl. American Woman by the Guess Who, American Woman by Lenny Kravitz. The Lenny Kravitz version was better. God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood. Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue by Toby Keith. Where the Stars and Stripes and the Eagle Fly by Aaron Tippman. American Soldier, Some Gave All, Only in America, Ragged Old Flag, Arlington,
Old Flag.
and
I don't remember that one.
If you're reading this.
Oh. So those were a lot of them were covered though, correct?
No.
But Guess Who wasn't?
No. So Guess Who was the original. Lenny Kravitz was the remix version. So that was a cover.
So who did Ragged Old Flag?
Yeah.
That's a Johnny Cash.
Ragged Old Flag was... let me go back. Ragged Old Flag was... Yeah, Johnny Cash, 1974.
But who... Didn't you say that was like a black?
No. Most of the...
Yeah, Johnny Cash is African American. You didn't know that?
Oh, yeah, he's the blackest person I've ever seen, actually. I take it back.
Is just the list. This is just the list of the top patriotic songs in America in order.
Oh, fuck yeah. Of course there's patriotic. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, like, when these people say stupid shit, these comedians and shit, I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
This country was so patriotic. 9/11, how much patriotism was spewing through this country after everything we dealt with 9/11. And then it was just a slow, I think from 2008 or 2000 on, 2008 on rather, it just went downhill. Like there was so much patriotism and it's just been getting worse and worse. We need that back.
Hell yeah.
We're bringing it back. But I think Juan has one last video for us to bring up. Sir, if you could.
What if millions of us stopped working, stopped spending, and stopped producing all at the same time? There's a movement brewing. It's called the People's Sick Day, and what it is a 3-day economic blackout. That means no work, no shopping, no production, just pause. 3 days where we remind the system that without us, nothing
Isn't that a
will.
long weekend?
But here's the twist. We're not giving out the dates until
Pretty much,
48 hours
the Monday holiday
because
weekend.
we don't want to give the corporations time to plan and stop us from having this happen. Because let's be honest, if they knew what we were planning, they'd shut it down before it even started.
That's what they do.
This isn't a protest. This is a strategic disruption to the machine.
These fucking
that
people,
feeds
they've
off
tried
of
this
our
so many
hard
times
work
already,
labor.
and it's failed.
If you want to be a part of it, go to thepeoplesickday.com.
Sign up
join
and let
the
everyone know how
Discord, and
stupid
join the
you really
movement.
are.
This
She's
is
like,
how
don't
we
tell anybody.
stand
By the
up
way, go to
against
this
what is
website.
happening in
Why
our
are the hot
country. We
ones
need to
always
shut
stupid?
it down.
I don't know.
We need to
I
shut
don't know.
it down.
Like
So
dumb
go
as a
to
bucket of fucking
thepeoplesickday.com. Sign up
She could
for
be
the
saved,
Discord
you know?
and
There's
get more
potential.
information
She doesn't have
there.
the eyes going on.
No.
So they have tried to do this so many times with this economic crash. Like there was a Friday, like nobody's going to shop. But by the way, go shopping on Wednesday. Buy everything you need because we're not going to shop on Friday.
Remember the
Okay.
band Amazon?
Yeah.
Like, don't buy from Amazon.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, where's my
Well,
Amazon
hold on,
account?
let me stock up first. I will fucking, you tell me not to stop or shop somewhere, I'm going to go blow all my money there. I recently saw a list on social media. It was like, oh, you can't shop at this location. It's Republican supporting. Good. I'm going to go fucking spend all my money there.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know.
The problem is you're not changing your spending habits. You're not changing the fact that you need things, that you need groceries, that you need to spend money. You're not changing the fact that you need gas. You're not changing the fact that you need things. You're still going to sit and watch Netflix, Disney Plus. Guess what? All that shit costs money.
Right.
Those ratings make money. The advertising makes money. There is no way to do a legitimate economic blackout unless everybody somehow has a random cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere with no running water, electricity, no amenities whatsoever, no internet, no ability to touch your phone to buy jack shit, and she would be the first bitch to break the fucking rule.
Mm-hmm.
And
they
you
don't
know
even
what?
think though. Like,
No.
don't buy anything.
'Cause
Oh,
you know
my
what
kid needs baby formula.
Oh,
Don't buy
shit.
it though.
Yeah,
Don't buy it.
No, just let the kids starve for 3 days. But
Diapers.
when
No,
the
no,
3
no,
days is
no.
over, it's
Like
okay.
this. There's another video like this of a chick saying this shit.
They've tried
and
to
she
do
goes,
this so much.
Yeah, just go to a spa day for a week. And I'm like, spa days cost thousands of
Yes.
dollars. You're retarded.
Yes.
I'm like, this is stupid.
No matter what, somebody is getting money. No matter what, somebody's getting money out
You're
of it.
going to stock up before
Moron.
the weekend, so you're
Dumbasses.
still spending the same amount of money. You're just displacing when you spend it.
That's it, and this is
Even
what
if
happened
you don't
before,
show
yeah.
up to work, it doesn't change anything because they're like, guess what? I'd fire your fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
I built this company without you. Me and my family built this without you. We'll be just fine without you. Get the hell out of here.
This is the thing. These people
I don't need
like
that stupidity.
They're so loud though. So there's another thing too. You're gonna have these people that are go on social media, be like, yeah, be part of this movement, and like $20, they're still online shopping. They're sitting on their fucking $1,000 iPhone. They like scream about capitalism with their fucking $9 Starbucks, the iPhone, the everything, their Lululemon pants on. Blow me. Like I don't want to hear it.
It's
honestly.
always the loud ones.
Yes.
It's
yes.
always the loud ones.
It's like, oh my god, I hate capitalism. While you're wearing a $500 pair of Jordans,
Exactly.
a $2,400 iPhone. Like, come on, you don't hate capitalism. You love capitalism. If you hated capitalism,
I
you
fucking
go
love
live in a
capitalism.
fucking communist country and you try bitching about freaking communism. Like, it's always the people who live in capitalist countries who benefit from capitalism
Entitled.
who bitch about capitalism.
Because we're entitled and they don't know any different and they don't know any better. Like, you know, back to the legal immigrants coming here and the people that support, like, you know, our values and everything like that. They've lived in these third world countries. They've lived in communism. They see how it
They
doesn't work.
appreciate
Yeah,
the
there's
hell out of it.
But
there's no third world country
only
that
the
works.
ones that were there during the collapse. If you notice, there's a difference between the immigrants who come from socialist, progressive, left-leaning countries prior to the collapse, where everything was still good, and then it collapsed after them, and the people who come here after they've witnessed the collapse, and then they're like, yeah, guys, don't do that. Don't. We tried that. It didn't work out. I had to eat my cat. Those people are different.
Gentlemen, it's been such a good show. Did you have fun coming on,
Oh,
Tom?
thanks for having me here.
Of
This has
course.
been
You
great.
gotta come back.
Yeah.
You gotta come back. Summer's a little crazy. We've had a wild mix-up of people. This has been good. I had fun with you guys tonight. I appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah.
Love
I appreciate you
riffing.
coming on.
Love talking about the topics.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
See, we're low-key here, too.
It's nice
like-
to get to shoot the shit after like so many serious topics over. I've been here since 3, so like so many serious topics.
you just get to let it spew out.
And
say
then
whatever
I
you
get to crack jokes about fat people and ugly
Yeah.
bitches in bonnets.
want. Yeah.
And it's the end of the night, so you can really go off.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And was it angry white female liberals, awfuls?
Oh, I like that.
That's Keith's
They are.
thing. Keith made that, the angry white female
Okay,
liberals.
so awfuls is that, and then Democrat backwards is asshole. Got it. I've learned a lot on this show tonight.
And don't
I've learned a
forget
lot.
Jewspiracies.
Jewspiracies. I love that word.
Yep, Jewspiracy theories.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate you so much being here. We are here every Tuesday, 9:30, streaming Shadow Band. You can find us on Right America Media on TikTok. We're usually streaming on there. RightAmericaTV.live or .tv or .live. RamTV.live. X Facebook. Should have known that. I've done this a few times. You think I'd know by now. Here every Tuesday at 9:30. We're so grateful to have you here. You can find myself at the Pretty Patriot _ on social media on TikTok and Instagram. Julian, Tom, socials?
Thank
Blue
you.
Collar Intellectual on everything. You can find me at Blue Collar Intellectual on literally everything at this point.
Tom, how about you?
Government Integrity Project. You find us at gipamerica.org.
Love it. Awesome. Gentlemen, have a great night. I had so much fun tonight, and we will see you all again next Tuesday, 9:30. Be there. America.